All right, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about developing a recruiting mindset, and this is my passion among passions. This is what gets me out of bed every single morning. I'm going to share some stats with you, and not to brag by any means. I just kind of want you guys to understand like how passionate I am about recruiting, and I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about it. But personally, since I joined 31, I've recruited 242 ladies. I earned the Lifetime Achievement Award at conference this year for 150 PICAs. I recruit on average 2.8 girls per month. And since January 2012, I've recruited at least one person a month. So I'm really consistent with recruiting. I've earned PAC for the last 5 years for recruiting. So this is what I love to do all day, every day. If I could just recruit and I didn't have to do any parties or sales, I totally would, but it doesn't work like that. Okay, so why is recruiting important? Mainly because it gives you a healthy business. If you are a leader and you have girls in your downline that are at risk, and let's say you have 5 girls at risk and 3 of them go inactive at the end of the month, and you and your team have recruited 3, you're maintaining your business. If you've only recruited 2, your business is declining. But if you recruit more than what's at risk, you're building your business. Obviously, recruiting increases your team sales and your income. It helps you to promote. But most importantly, it's all about her. I'll just tell you a couple little things about recruiting. So there's a lady on my team who I did not recruit. She's one of my directors. I recruited her sponsor, but she joined 31. She had a daughter and then had a son that had some sort of a defect, and he ended up passing away about 12 hours after she had them. She was then pregnant with her 3rd child, and she saw that we had a Zout in the kit, and so she joined, as she says, for a diaper bag. She then realized, she came to my CNC meeting, she was like 8 months pregnant, and she realized that she could earn more free products from Startswell. So what really started as a great deal on a product to her, she did Startswell. She ended up falling in love with the company and the product and being rewarded. And about 2 years in, she ended up promoting into leadership, and then she and her husband started a foundation in the name of her son, and they every year do a thing called Nicholas packages. So in his honor, they put together thermal totes or zipper pouches or something, and they donate it to a local children's hospital with things in it for the kids. So me recruiting one girl and her recruiting one girl has touched thousands and thousands of lives. But even more importantly, this person on my team has reached back out and sharing with us, and has said, this changed her life, because after she lost her son, she was in a really dark place. Her and her husband weren't really sure how to grieve together, and this gave them a foundation to do good together in her son's name. And instead of being in that dark place, she's been able to teach her girls how to make something great out of something that was really crappy that happened to them. And so every time I tell that story, it kind of chokes me up and I get goosebumps, because I just think that's amazing. So when you think about recruiting, you never know how it could change someone's life. You never know how it could impact them. Again, she joined for a diaper bag. She wanted a good deal, and it totally changed her life. And she has changed so many others' lives because of this business. So that's really where my heart is and why I'm so passionate about 31. I have seen 31 heal marriages, help people get out of debt, help women leave an abusive relationship, help moms be able to not have that mom guilt because they have to say no to something that they financially want to say yes to, on and on and on. So that's really why recruiting is so important. And then I just have a quote here. I think the greatest satisfaction anyone will get in their lives is when they make the difference in somebody else's life. So you have the power to change someone else's life with sponsoring. And so I just feel like that's a really big gift to not waste. So again, just some of the things that I've found that 31 has done for the ladies that I've recruited and ladies that I've met. I'm sure there are tons of stories even in the room that you are in about how 31 has changed your life. And if it hasn't yet, I promise you it will, because it affects everyone in a positive way at some point. Okay, so where to recruit and who to recruit. So who can you recruit? Hostesses, customers, new moms, empty nesters, women who just bought a house, women who just got married, women who just got divorced, women who just retired, women who just graduated from college. Anyone, right? Anyone could use this opportunity, and for different reasons. Places that you're going to find a recruit: at the party, whether that's online or face-to-face, when you're out and about, at the grocery, at the ball field. I know at conference a couple years, someone said, just change your seat, sit with someone new at the ball game, or sit in a different place at the choir concert, and you'll never know how that's going to strike up a conversation. On social media, I love when people on social media, back a couple years ago, it was complaining about gas prices and how expensive gas was. I love when people talk about they had a baby and they have to go back to work and they're not sure who's going to watch their kid and they don't want to leave their kid and all that. I love when people post who's hiring or I'm looking for a seasonal job. Those are people I'm going to reach out to. And then, of course, in your VIP group. So when you're talking about sponsoring, you really want to look for cues. So at a face-to-face party, you're going to look for the person who's the life of the party, the person who spends the most, the person who spends the least, the person who wants one of everything, the person who shares her budget or talks about how she can't get it all, the person who asks questions when you play a recruiting game, and remind me, Danielle, I'll talk about that at the end. The person who barely talks but is paying lots of attention. The person who knows all the prints and products and can almost do your job for you. All right. At the party on Facebook, you're going to look for the person who comments on everything, the person who plays games, again, the person who spends the most and the least, who says she wants one of everything, who talks about how she can't get it all, and who plays the questions. And of course, you want to get everyone in your VIP group, but definitely the people who join are potential team members. When you're out and about, conversations you have with when people talk about how they need more income or they need girl time or they have a long wish list for our product. This is kind of something I said earlier on social media. People who are complaining about how much something costs, people who talk about an extra job, people who are buying a house. So the next step is really to make your list. And you want to have as many names on your list as possible. People you want to join, I always call it a tip list. People who are talented that you want to have join your team because you think they would be great at it. People who are interested, like maybe they've asked you a question or two, and then perspective. So like people who have told you they're interested, but they haven't joined yet. And so you just want to not prejudge anyone. And the little story I have to share with you guys is I want you to pretend that you work at a grocery store and you are passing out samples. When people walk through the store, your job is just to ask everyone if they want a free sample, right? Now, some people are going to tell you no because they just ate, they don't like the food you're offering, or they have an allergy, they're on a diet, they're in a hurry, you know, whatever reason. But they're not telling you no because they don't like you, right? It's not personal. It's not about you. It's just whatever's going on in their day or their life. So it's the same thing when it comes to recruiting. You want to be the grocery store sample person. So you are going to offer the opportunity to everyone, and you are not going to take it personal if people say no. That makes sense?
Awesome example. I like that. Yes, that's an awesome example. Love that.
So you really want to make it about her. And when you're talking about the opportunity, if you're feeling nervous, you're focusing on the wrong person. So make it about her. Women join someone they like, know, and trust. It's all about that relationship. And it's your job to ask her and her job to say yes or no. So another little thing I want you to think about is, I just lost my train of thought, sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, um, you have to let go of the outcome. So you need to focus that your job is to offer the opportunity to everyone and then let go. Like, I don't care if she says yes or no. And you know why? I don't want someone to join my team if it's not right for them. I only want to join if it's right for them.
Right.
So I don't care if she says yes or no. If she says yes, awesome, I'm going to welcome you to your team. If she says no, the time isn't right for her. And that's okay. It's not about me. So step one is to get to know her. And this can take 2 years or two days. Each person is different. I for everyone I meet, the 31 opportunity, and it's just a matter of when I get to know them and when I figure out what 31 can do for them. So does she need girl time because she has a house full of boys, or she's a stay-at-home mom? Does her family need extra income? Has her husband's hours been cut? Do they have a big medical expense? Do they have a child who wants to play an expensive sport? Does she have a wish list a mile long? Maybe she has 4 kids and she wants to get each of them a duffel bag. So you really just are going to get to know her and figure out how 31 can help her and why. Step 2 is to ask her to join your team. So you might say something like, Mary, I know you mentioned that you would love to put Johnny in travel soccer, but it's costly. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? It's so easy to make $600 a month working just 3 to 4 hours a week. Or, Mary, I know what it's like to be home with the kiddos all day and just want to have a conversation with someone over the age of 5. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? It's a great way to make some extra cash and get some girl time. Our sisterhood is amazing. Or, Mary, I know you said you wanted one of everything in the catalog. I don't blame you. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? You can earn unlimited free product. Okay, so this is an old slide. Hold up. So this is about when we had Start Swell. Now that we have Wishes, things are a little bit different, but I would say, did you know that you can get a 40% discount all day, every day, or something along those lines? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's really just as simple as, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Notice I don't say, do you want to join my team? Because you're going to get a hard, probably no on that one. Right. But I'm just asking her, has she thought about it? I'm not asking her to commit yes or no. And if she says no, then that's not her telling me no to the opportunity. It's telling me she hasn't thought about it. And then I can say, oh, well, I think you'd be great at it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the next thing you are going to do is overcome objections. So when you guys offer the opportunity, what are some objections people typically give you?
Money.
Have no money.
Yep. Time. All of those. Salesy. Anything else not on there? Yeah. No people. Introvert. Yep. You got them.
Those are pretty much what people say, right?
Yes.
I will tell you, in that number, I don't remember what it was, like 200 and whatever people I've recruited. I would say when I ask people to join the opportunity, maybe 10 of those 270 people have said, okay, but 99% of them say, I don't know if I have enough time. I'm not good at sales. Right. I'm shy and don't like to talk in front of people. I don't know enough people, or I don't have the money. Most everyone gives me an objection first. And if you say, okay, and you walk away from the conversation at that point, you are leaving your recruits on the table. Just kind of like leaving money on the table. Yep. People give you an objection because they are insecure about starting a new business. Who wouldn't be? It's a huge step. It's a little scary. So they want you to help them overcome that objection. They want some encouragement. So when I have somebody who gives me an objection, I use what I call a feel, felt, found statement. So I reinforce how she feels. I tell her how I felt before I joined, and then I tell her what I found about the business. So when she says, I don't know if I have enough time for a business, I'll say, you know what, Mary, I worried about that too when I started. I was a newly single mom of a 3-year-old, and I worked a full-time job. But what I found was I could work the business when it was convenient for me. Sometimes that just meant 15 minutes after my daughter was in bed. Some weeks it was on Facebook only, and other weeks I didn't have any time for it, and that was okay. So you can see how I'm relating to her. And these are things you guys are going to have to come up with on your own. You're going to have to use your own story. But how many of you guys worried if you would have enough time when you started this business?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You likely felt the same way. So you want to relate to her and share your story, and then reassure her that it's okay. lots of times people will say, I'm not good at sales. And so when they first say, I'm not good at sales, I'll say something like, I worried about that too when I started. I had never sold anything before 31, but what I found was it was way more about sharing what I love about a product than being salesy. And you don't have to be pushy to be successful. That's probably my favorite line. You don't have to be pushy to be successful. Or sometimes people will tell me, I tried XYZ company, it didn't work. This is touchy. You definitely don't want to be putting down another company. That's unprofessional. We should be supporting everyone who does any kind of direct sales. But you can say why you think 31's the best, right? I think 31's the best direct sales company. So when someone tells me I sold Mary Kay and I didn't do well, I'm going to say, you know what? I love Mary Kay's products, but I can see why it would be so hard to sell. The cosmetic industry is so competitive, and with people being able to buy products at Walmart, Target, Macy's, or almost anywhere they go, I can see how that would be tough. What I love about 31 is you can give it to your 8-year-old daughter or 80-year-old grandmother. With the collection of solid colors and camo, it works for men, and the pillows make great gifts for weddings and showers. Our audience is so broad, and that makes selling easy.
Cool.
So you see how you can kind of change this? It's hard to buy makeup for people as a gift unless you know them really well. Like, my mom could buy me makeup. Anyone else did, I'd probably be offended. Like, what are you trying to say?
Right?
and in reality, jewelry too. I mean, you could probably buy jewelry for your mom or your sister, but you're not going to give jewelry as a wedding present, right? Same thing with, almost any other direct sales company. We are really the gift company, and we have such a broad audience to share with. So again, you're going to relate to her, share your story, and tell her it's okay. You're going to, let her know you're going to link arms with her, and she's not going to be on her own. Same thing with shy. I'm not outgoing, or I don't like to talk in front of people. I worried about that too when I started, but what I found was this was way more about hanging out with girlfriends than a presentation. Sometimes at parties, I'll have my guests choose products and go around the room and share what they like about it or what they would use it for, instead of me doing all the talking. And with Facebook, you don't have to just do home parties to be successful.
PowerPoint too.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Know enough people. I worried about that too when I started, but what I found was it was pretty easy to get outside of my circle. Imagine if your best friend has a party. Those would be 10 people, some of which you don't know. And then her mom has a party, which would be 10 new people, and then her coworker, 10 new people. So you can see how you can meet new customers quickly. You're going to just walk her through it. You probably don't know your best friend's coworkers, so that's somebody new that you would meet. And then money. I know $99 is a big investment, and I worried about that too when I started. But I learned that our average party is $600, which is $150 in commission. So I knew I would make my money back right away. In fact, when I joined, my goal was to earn $200 a month, and my first month I made $483. I was so excited. So again, you're just gonna kind of share with her. There are some people who legit don't have $99, and that it is what it is. They're just gonna have to wait for the time is right. If those are one of your people, I would definitely put them on a follow-up list, and I would start hitting them up beginning of February, because chances are they'll get a tax refund, and that might be a great time for them to join. Sometimes you can do a suggestion to them, like, well, do you have someone you could borrow the money from until you got your first commission check? Sometimes you can do something like give them catalogs and order forms, have them collect $400 in orders before they join, and then they know they're going to get a $100 commission check for their very first check. Another option is maybe they can sell something on like Facebook Marketplace or the yard sale groups to make some extra cash. But sometimes it is they have the 99, or they could spend the 99, but they're worried about if that's just going to be $99 down the drain. So if you can really reassure them you're going to help them get started with a launch party. Another option is to have them book a couple parties before they get started, so that they know they're going to have some income coming in, and then they're going to be more comfortable with spending that money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you close, you don't want to close on the kit. So I'll tell you, when I talk to somebody about the opportunity, I don't even bring up the kit until they do. If you are selling a kit, you are getting a kidnapper. So one thing I never ever do is take the catalog. A lot of people turn it over. This is the best deal we have. It's $400 or $400 in product for $99. That's what you just got. Somebody got a good deal. I'm selling the opportunity. So you're going to spend a lot of time with little results when you do that, and it's going to be a ton of work trying to get people started who just wanted a good deal on the kit. So if someone wants a good deal on the kit, I encourage them to host, because then I tell them, hey, by hosting, you're going to get to pick your product, you're going to get to pick your pattern, you're going to get to pick your personalization. It's not this standard thing. If you sell somebody a kit and you sell a kidnapper, guess what? They're likely not going to order from you. Their friends and family aren't going to order from you. They're not going to host with you, on and on. If they host with you, though, they might have a family member or friend who actually wants to work the business, or you might get more bookings, or she might be coming back to you with sales, on and on. So sell the opportunity. Talk to them about goals. Ask them, what are you most excited about with 31? Are you excited about earning extra money, getting some girl time, or getting a discount on product? And then go talk to her about that. If it's money, you're going to talk to her about, if I gave you $150 for every party you held, how many parties do you think you would want to do in a week? Chances are she's going to say 2. How many of you guys would like somebody on your team who wants to do 8 parties a month? Right? So talk to her about that. Set her goal high at the beginning. If she says, I'm interested in the girl time, you're going to talk to her about when the next CNC is. You're going to talk to her about conference. You're going to talk to her about if your team does any kind of girls' nights or meetings or things like that. Ask her if she wants to set up a coffee date with you to talk about virtual office. And if she says she's excited about the product, you're going to talk to her about what she's going to get at a launch party. So we're going to do a launch party, and we're going to set a goal of $600 in sales, and you're going to get $120 in free product and 2 items half price and 2 exclusives, and on and on. Does that make sense? So you're talking about to her in her language what she wants out of the business. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just told you guys that. So that's it.
Boom. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I gotta watch it again. But it was good. But I was scrambling to take notes, and I know we have the PowerPoint. So, that was, what do you guys think? Awesome. That helped some of the questions and some of the things already that you've, like your fears of recruiting and verbiage and how it makes it about her and not us. Like some of the things we were talking about this morning. So we Zoomed this morning with JP, and that was a big emphasis. So a lot of the emphasis for her, but this kind of goes hand in hand, was we talked about, I know you were at PAC, so you know some of the stuff, how our percentages have gotten way, way lower on getting her 1,000 right away and focusing on the right thing. So here we are painting that picture already of what we need and making it about her with all of this stuff before she's even joined your team yet. So you're already getting her, if she does join, you're getting to know her and you're getting to find out about her and, all that good stuff. On top of, I know everyone in this room almost will tell me that they don't know how to recruit. They have a fear. Again, like you said, they're doing it the wrong way. They're thinking about them instead of her. So good.
Yeah, for sure. You have to take yourself out of the equation. And I'm going to tell you, the first couple of times that I talked to somebody about joining my team, I had that heart race and, oh my gosh, and I'm sweaty armpits and what is she going to say? But honestly, you have to let go of the outcome. Your job is to offer the opportunity, and you are sharing with her a gift. It's like a present wrapped up in a pink box, and do you want this present? And she says no. Okay, no big deal. Who's the next person who might want the present?
Your grocery store thing was perfect. Did that resonate with you guys? Because that did me. Your grocery thing, yes. Trying to think of it like that. Like, it's not personal. Like you said, she's got her reasons, and it's legit and whatever it is, and it doesn't have anything to do. She didn't tell you your hair was ugly today. I don't want to join your team.
It really is. It's about her. And if she's telling you no, it's because her life might be chaos right now, and she is a parent who has cancer and you don't even know it. Right. Or she's a kid who's failing school and you don't even know it. Right. Or it could be, she's insecure and she's scared to start a new business. Or, it could be 100 million reasons, but none of them have to do with you. I can promise you that, maybe I'm in La La Land, I don't know. But I would think most of the people who I've offered the opportunity who say no, it's not because they hate me. It's not because they don't like me. It's because it's not the right opportunity for them. And that's a perfectly okay. 31 isn't the right opportunity for everyone. Being an entrepreneur isn't the right opportunity for everyone. But I don't know until I ask. I don't know until I offer it to them. And I have no idea. I'm going to get a little churchy with y'all, but I honestly believe God brought this business into my life for a reason. And I believe when God presents somebody to me, I'm a kind of person, I pray a lot about my business, and I pray about who I'm recruiting on my team. And I ask God, show me the people who need this opportunity. Show me the people who need a stronger relationship with you. Show me the people who need that extra income, who are desperate for a way out of whatever's going on in their life. And so it's crazy, because once I started doing that, like, people just popped in my head that I needed to share the opportunity with. And when I started doing that, it made it so much easier for me, because it wasn't about what I had going on. It was about what they needed and what this opportunity could do for them. And some still said no, and that's okay. And some said yes, and they bought a new couch and they left the business, and that was it. And some said yes, and it changed everything for them. And you don't know who it could change everything for, and if you don't ask. And so I just think it's like, we have this this duty or this responsibility to share this awesome opportunity, and you're doing other people a disservice if you don't offer it to them, because you don't know the person who has anxiety and just needs that sisterhood. She needs a girlfriend. And you don't know the person who might be financially struggling and wondering how she's going to make her next mortgage payment. And you might not know the person who is going to end up with breast cancer in 2 years and is going to need this sisterhood to rally around her so she can fight that fight. You just don't know. You just don't know. So it kind of gets me a little choked up and emotional, because I just think it's a big deal. It's not really just like, oh, maybe I'll sponsor this month, maybe I won't. It really is a gift that can really change someone's life. So
beautiful. Amen. And even as simple as the couch, you don't know how maybe important that couch really was to her, and what that really, we all talk about our why. Maybe she didn't have a good couch when she was growing. You know what I mean? Like, again, that sounds silly, but you don't even know whatever that thing was that maybe she was done. You still gave an amazing gift, No, awesome. That was, yes.
Well, it's funny, because when I joined 31, I wanted to pay gymnastics lessons and trips to the zoo and those kinds of things. And so that sounds like, okay, she wanted extra money. But the reality was, I grew up super poor, and my mom had to say no a lot to me and my siblings. And when she did say no, I had a lower self-esteem, because I felt like we weren't good enough because we couldn't have what other kids had. And so it really was about, I don't want my daughter to have low self-esteem and feel like we aren't good enough because I can't afford X, Y, or Z.
No.
It took me a while to kind of realize that that's what it was, but that's a huge deal. And it helps not only her confidence to be able to do these extra activities, and gives her more opportunities, but it helps my confidence as a mom to not have that mom guilt and to be able to say yes. So
yeah. We dug into our whys last night. That was the first thing we did, and that was exactly the type of stuff we did, is talked about, okay, some of your whys will resonate from your childhood, and that's exactly it. That happens. So
it's not your why till it makes you cry.
Right? Yep.
Well, I have a couple more minutes if you guys have any other questions or anything you want to ask me about.
Tell us your recruiting game.
Oh, so my recruiting game. I get 2 bags. You can use those clear frosted bags from Business Supply or gift bags or whatever, and they look different. So maybe they have 2 different colored tissue papers or something like that. And then I have printed out on a piece of paper questions, like ask me about my job questions. How much do you make? Can you earn free trips? What happens if you sign up and you don't sell anything? All those kinds of questions. You guys can kind of brainstorm those together. I have it printed out on a piece of paper and laminated, because I use it at home parties. And then what I do is I hold up these 2 gifts, and I say, we're going to play a really fun game where you guys can win prizes. But before we do that, I'm going to let you ask me about my job. I then have like 1 suit from a deck of cards. So maybe like the hearts, ace through ace, king, king, all the way to 2. And so I hold those cards, I pass out the papers that have the questions, and I say, you can ask me anything you want about my job. If you have a question about products or prints, give me just a minute and I'll answer those. But for the next couple minutes, I want you to ask me anything you want about my job. So they ask questions, they have the questions in front of them, so it makes it really easy. And I give them a card every time they ask a question. So I tell them the more questions you ask, the more chance you have to win. So I give them a card and I elaborate when they ask. So when they say, how much money do you make a month? I tell them, but then I say, my first month I made this much. If I work, if I do one party a week, I make an average of $600 a month. So I kind of talk to them about it. Can you, do you have any other expenses as a consultant? Yes, you have a website fee, but we get to earn free product all the time, and we can earn wishes come true, which allows us to do XYZ. So I kind of elaborate. So I'm getting to tell them about the opportunity. Once all my cards are gone, then I hold up my 2 gifts and I say, okay, who has the ace? And someone raises their hand, I hand them gift 1 and I say, don't open it yet. And then I say, who has 2? And I give it to the next person. And then I say, who has 3? And someone raises their hand and I'm like, okay, do you want the pink gift or the purple gift? Oh, I want the pink one. So it goes around till we get to the last 2 people, kind of like a white elephant. And they all start laughing and joking, don't take my gift. Oh, you better take hers, and they're all having a whole bunch of fun. And then the last 2 people who have the gifts get to keep them. My gifts are typically a nail file and a key fob. So it's not costing me tons of money. It's simple and easy, but it lets me talk about the opportunity a whole lot at the beginning of my party when I have their attention.
Cute. So I do mine with tickets, but I like yours. I mean, I'm up for a change anyways. I do the double ticket, but that's fun, especially because I've been doing it and we all know that we get bored with our own parties sometimes. So very cute. Like it. Makes sense to everybody? Yeah. Very good.
So if anybody has any other questions about hostess coaching or recruiting or anything in general.
What do you do when you do it on Facebook? How do you do it?
I do the same thing. I post a graphic that has the questions on it, and I give them extra party points.
Yep. That's what I figured. Yep. For doing it. Yep. So any other questions?
That's really powerful too, because some people might not have the gumption to ask, but they're reading those responses.
Right.
I had a question, but it wasn't for the recruiting slide.
Oh, go ahead.
Coaching slide.
Hostess coaching slide. She's got a question.
So she said that she doesn't make her group or event until they have messaged all their people and got a yes or no. But what about the ones of us who are doing our parties in our customer group now?
Yeah.
That's already kind of.
Okay, so, which we may have to discuss, but tell me if you have any ideas. So we're doing our parties in our customer group now. Some of us are anyway. So we may like that's what I'm doing. So I make an album of my hostesses. I think you and I have talked about this maybe a little bit, but I do the album of the hostesses in my customer group. So she's saying, if we're doing the hostess coaching, do you have a suggestion or what would we do to get them to not jump if they're already in the customer group? Do you have any suggestions how to get them to not just word vomit and add a bunch of people?
So are you doing all the party posts in your customer group?
Yeah, and the thing is we're just not really doing, we're taking our party and we know that in the next couple of weeks, we're going to try to just hit some of those posts in the next couple of weeks. We're going to make sure the specials are there. We're going to make sure we do something with recruiting, so on and so forth, rather than even doing another group, basically. Because my feelings personally are that it is all about the hostess coaching. It really doesn't matter what else I'm hosting. It just really doesn't. And so they're getting enough on 2 Fridays, like you said, of stuff basically, to see in my customer group. Plus, for me, I'm always doing giveaways in there. So it's a win-win. I'm not having to do as many giveaways as I would for each individual party on top of my customer group. Yet to them, it looks like more because I am playing games and doing things to get them to respond. So that's just kind of something that some of us have been doing and playing around with, and I've been pretty successful with. So yeah, getting them not to just throw their people in there right away.
I think it just comes down to explaining it to her. So you need to tell her hey, you can go in and just add 150 people to my group, but you're not going to get the free product that you would if you take the time to send these personal messages. I'll tell you, for my parties, I do points. So every time you like something, you get a point, comment 5 points, whatever stuff you do, you get points. And then at the end of my party, secret, don't tell anyone, I don't total it up at all. I ain't gonna talk about that. I just pick 2 people that I think are most likely to party, and my prize is you've won $10 off your next order, or double it to 20 when you host an average, keyword average, Facebook party with me.
Yep.
So I'm not giving away anything without getting something. I don't post that or my winners till the party's closed, so they have to use that $10 on a new order. And most of the time I can convert those to hostesses. If their party doesn't hit an average number, then they just get the extra $10 in hostess credit, which more than often I can get an outside order to put with and it doesn't cost me anything. Or if I do have to do $10, I'm getting 35% commission back on it, so it's costing me $6.50.
Right.
So, and I got a party out of it, which is going to be at least 200, so I'm making $50. So that's what I do. And I do groups. I don't do events. I do a group.
Yep. No, we can. We'll think on it. We'll discuss it. I think it's definitely, like you said, it's still going to come down to the videos and trying to coach her not to. I mean, if she does, she does. It's just like our parties. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But really trying to get her to just, slow up. We're not doing anything yet. Step by step, I promise you this is to benefit you and your hostess benefits and all of that. Just making it as clear as possible in the videos.
For sure.
Yep. Okay, anything else? Oh, thank you.
Welcome. I'll tell you guys, I just left our PAC meeting with JP, and it was really awesome, exciting. We have some really awesome things coming in the next couple months. So.
Yeah, so she was going to do, funny you say that, because her original plan with me was I had asked her to do a 3-month plan for us, because she's really good at that. She's really good at, making us sit down. That's one of the things she does with us as leaders always is, okay, what are you doing in the next 3 months? And she breaks down some stuff for us. And she messaged me right away and was like, so there's some things changing that's going to be on Leadership Live that I can't really do 3 months right now. So excited to hear what.
Yeah, it's all good. There's always, when you make changes, a little transition period. So, expect that, but it's all good stuff. It's going to be awesome. It's going to make things easier and simpler and
cool.
Awesome. So good stuff coming. We definitely want to work that business and promote and all that stuff. So
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Any questions, let Danielle know and she can get with me. And congratulations on investing in your business. I hope you found these trainings helpful, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, girl. What do you think, Mr. Important?